Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Hold on. I got to fix my camera. Oh my God, it's totally crooked. Hold on, guys. All right, we're here. Welcome to another edition of Me First TV. I am your host, Patricia Rivera Wolfson, and I'm a life strategist and any energy practitioner who helps people simplify transformation through the Me First formula, which I developed over the last 12 years. And I teach this method to clients and use it personally to navigate my life every single day as I deal with life as the parent of three teenage boys after having lost my husband to cancer. And of course, all this while going through perimenopause. So if you know, you know. So welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are watching today, please say hi. Let me know that you're here. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm just setting up the chat so that if you guys want to say something, I can see you. So feel free to comment. I will be pulling cards today. I believe I I've been trying my best to navigate my own life and have not been coming online as frequently as before, but I'm hoping to change that because one of the ways that I hope to support humanity in my own way is to show up here and to give you hope and to give you tools and strategies to navigate the really tough things. Okay, so I believe it is more important than ever for us to practice leaning into self care and not just like those, self care, getting massage and doing your nails and taking bath, all of which are important, but just also taking care of ourselves, being mindful of what we need. Our senses are being assaulted right now by the outside world in a way that I can't even comprehend, but you guys are there, so you know. We have unlimited access to the challenges everybody is facing, especially nationally, but also individually and globally. And our nervous systems are on overload and they need care and attention. Our families need love and reassurance, and our communities need kindness and compassion. And this is the foundation of my work. Okay, we must begin within, right? Me first. It's not me and no one else matters. It's simply me first, right? And so, what I want to help you with on this channel is I want to support you as you navigate the challenges that you face personally in your life, and of course, that all of us are facing. And I want to help give you the tools for you to be able to navigate that in the best way possible for yourself so that you can show up fully and authentically to be able to contribute your best to the planet, because that's what we all need right now is we all need everybody to kind of give it their best. Okay, we have, oh, hello, hi, Dad. My dad is watching. Everybody say hello to my father. All right. So it is imperative for each of us to become attuned to our highest purpose and most connected and authentic version of ourselves. I am going to say that over and over and over again because I hope to slowly drill it into your head how important it is. Okay. And I'm going to give you my analogy. The analogy that I use nature, I use music, but I'm going to give you my little reminder analogy. Okay. It's just like being part of a band. Each person in the band is in charge of tuning their instrument, learning the music, and practicing as much as they need in order to show up prepared and ready to rock, right? Imagine, if you will, if the lead guitarist of the band didn't tune their instrument or didn't know the music or the drummer or the bassist. It wouldn't matter how good the other musicians were or how charismatic the lead singer. It would probably be a really not so great performance, okay? It would suffer. And everybody would be impacted by this one band member who didn't prepare themselves for the show, right? Just to simply have harmony, everyone needs to begin with a tuned instrument. But when we're talking about success, right, for a band to truly have success, everyone must excel in their own position. They must contribute to the best of their ability. Everyone must show up and give their best, right? And so if everybody is performing at their best, if everybody is showing up in their best, well, then the whole thing gets elevated to another level and becomes the best, right? Okay, so this is what I want to talk about today. And I want to pull cards to see what we need to focus on for this coming week. I'm going to ask what we need to focus on in order to tune to our higher selves, what challenges we may face along the way, and where we will find unexpected support in our times of need. All right. I mean, of course, if you have your own support systems, then you lean into them during these times. But sometimes there's little surprises or little miracles that show up along the way just to let us know that the universe is, in fact, watching and helping. And I like to focus on those things because it's just nice to focus on support versus focusing on the things that are hard for us and thinking that we're in this alone. Olá, Lucinda. Beijinho para você. Yeah, guys, say hi. We got people from all over the world. We got Portugal, we got Toronto. You guys say where you're from. Okay, so we're going to begin this whole session by taking some deep breaths. And you're going to do this with me. So hopefully, if you need to center yourself and just focus on your intentions, I'd like you to do that with me. So when I pull the cards, you will be able to look at them and also have your own interpretation of what the cards mean for you. Because, of course, this is a general reading, and I'm going to be talking about the general energy that sort of affects us all. But there may be certain things that come up in the reading that are unique and specific to you. So if you get a hit, if you get a message, if something resonates with you on a deeply personal level, I don't want you to question it. I want you to accept it. And so in order to do that, like accept it as your message, accept it as a communication from spirit or from a loved one on the other side. And that is how you are going to integrate and build that relationship with spirit and build that relationship with your inner guidance, which essentially is your higher self, which is connected to all of the collective unconsciousness, okay? Or the collective consciousness, not the collective unconsciousness. Although we all kind of connect with the collective unconsciously, but the actual consciousness is conscious. Did that make sense? Did I confuse you? All right, well, just bear with me. All right, so here we go. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. And this is in order to center ourselves, to get ourselves grounded so that we can sort of clear our minds as best as possible and begin with pure intentions. Okay, so here we go. Deep breath in. When you get to the top, so to speak, after the inhale, I want you to hold for 5 seconds. And then I want you to release slowly for longer than the inhale. This sends the signal to our body, specifically to our parasympathetic nervous system, that everything is okay and everything is good and we have nothing to worry about. We're sending the signal that we are safe. Okay, so here we go. Deep breath in and hold and release. Another deep breath in. I need that. And hold and release. And one more deep breath in. Last one, make it count. And hold and release. Okay, now we're going to do a little stretch. Okay, just stretch with me. What we want to do is we want to sort of dislodge any stuck or stagnant energy, paying attention to the places where you feel pain. And you can do some breathing into that right now too. Just breathing into where you feel your pain points. And just release all of that stuck, stagnant, or blocked energy. And we're going to shake it out. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Woo! That's it. Shake it out. Okay. So now I'm going to say I'd like you to set your intentions for the reading, and I am going to say my own little prayer, and I ask you to take a moment to set your intentions in whatever way feels aligned with you and whatever sort of prayer or conversation you have with spirit. This is the time for you to do it yourself or simply listen to what I have to say and allow it to also stand for you, right? So that it also represents your own thoughts and welcoming in spirit to help us through this time. Okay. All right, here we go. Divine Mother, Infinite Father, Creator, Ascended Masters, Archangels, Spirit Guides, and all beings of 100% pure white light, Allow me to be a clear and open channel of your light and love without hesitation or ego. May the highest vibration of love and light connect with my higher self and release any and all things that no longer serve me. I ask that Saint Germain and his infinitely powerful violet flame burn away the things that no longer serve myself or humanity and hold us back from my divine existence. Thank you, thank you, thank you for showing me the signs and synchronicities through these cards and other messages in nature, music, movies, and through the words of others today. As always, I appreciate you, I serve you, and I am grateful for any wisdom you may have for me or the collective on this day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it, and so it is. Okie dokie. Oops. Lost my mic there. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. All right. So now we're going to do a little shuffle. I'm going to do a little shuffling of the cards. And don't forget that if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please go to Me First TV on YouTube and go right ahead and subscribe. It's free, and it gives me a little boost in the algorithm, so I appreciate it. Also, if you want to share this reading would be awesome as well. And if you would like a personalized reading or a personal strategy session or even a couples reading, if that's something that you need, please go to my scheduler and book yourself an appointment. You can go to calendly.com or find the link in the description below. It's Jumpstart for Change. So calendly.com/Jumpstart for Change is where you can book with me. And that's the only place you can book with me at this time. All right. And also, if not for you, you can gift someone a love, someone you love a card reading. Well, you can gift someone a love reading, but a card reading or a personalized strategy session. So reach out to me privately if you would need a gift card, because I do have those, but I'll have to deliver it to you. And that's it. So we're going to, here's what we want. We want to find out the first thing is we want to know what we need to focus on in order to tune to our highest selves. Okay, so what is Spirit asking of the collective to tune to our highest selves? Oh, this thing is so annoying. I don't like where this is. Where this is, because I can't shuffle without knocking into the microphone. I'll have to make some adjustments with this in the future. I don't know why it's different today, of hitting me today, and normally it doesn't. So I don't know what the deal is. Okay, turned off the mic, but I'm okay now. All right. Did I? Sorry, let me just make sure. Yeah, everything is good. Okay. All right. All right, so the first card is going to be, and I'm just going to pull the three cards together. What we need to focus on to tune to our higher selves, what challenges we may face along the way, right? So we need to be aware of what challenges we're facing and where we might find unexpected support in our times of need, okay? So these are the three cards I'm going to pull, and then I'll do some cards that hopefully like clarify if we're confused. But I am using the Oracle deck because it's fun. And a little easier and more gentle than the tarot deck. But I have been working with tarot, and I will be pulling tarot cards a little bit more often. I might pull one still in the after this, but we'll do, okay, yes, all right. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, man. Okay. So here we go. According to Spirit, the first card that we pulled. So the first question was, which question? What do we need to focus on in order to tune to our higher selves? Want to hear what Spirit said about that? Look at this. You got to come together, people. So look, it's an 8 card. Hold on. Can you see it? Okay, so the card's number 8. It is 2 giraffes right there, and it says come together. So this is the come together card from the Enchanted Map deck. I have a lot of decks out here. Okay, so it's the Enchanted Map deck by Colette Baron Reed. And the Come Together card. I mean, this kind of seems like an obvious, but it is a very direct message from Spirit. In order for us to focus on what is most important for ourselves, we need to come together. We need to stop fighting. We need to stop being in this or that mentality, like us versus them. We need to come together for a higher purpose. And the truth is that we already are, I mean, we are all connected. We are all one. And so we have to work together to understand each other's needs, to validate each other's needs and wants, and try to get to a common ground. So, in order for us to connect to our higher selves, we have to understand that we are not fighting with each other or with ourselves. We need to somehow come together. We need to find a common ground. And it goes back to what I truly believe is our mission here, which is we need to become clear and confident in who we are to show up in our full spectrum of light in order to support and love others. And this is how we can come together when we're truly ourselves, when we truly feel connected to our greater purpose. When we really look within, our greater purpose is always unity. It's always working together for a grander purpose. Okay, so that's the first piece of advice, and I'll get some more, but we'll move on to the next one. Okay, and the next one is what challenges we may face along the way. And look at this. The challenge is this. It's the commitment card, right? So number 36, commitment. Commitment may be a challenge, right? It may be a challenge to commit to coming together with other people. And I'll tell you right now, we are in a very volatile, I don't have to tell you, we are in a very volatile time. And there is a lot of emotions. There is a lot of sensitivity being activated from everyone, right? We are all very raw in our feelings, in our emotions. Things feel scary. And so that extra sensitivity, that extra attunement to our safety and our concern for our safety and well-being, it puts everybody in a state of alert, right? And when you're in an alert state, you're not in a relaxed state. When you're in an alert state, it's hard to think clearly. It's also a very sort of protective state. You are less likely to be welcoming, right? Because you are cautious about everything because you feel like you're in danger. Energetically, emotionally, mentally, you feel unsafe. And so when you're feeling unsafe, it's easy to be triggered to anger, right? And one of the things that I talk about a lot, especially with my kids, but I talk to my clients about, is that is that anger, like actual anger that is expressed. The underlying emotion that is happening is fear, right? Anger protects fear. I sometimes talk about how anger is like the bouncer at a party, protecting like sort of the fun happening inside, right? So the anger is the bouncer, and the bouncer is making sure that no one goes in and hurts, the person, which is you, right? So your inner bouncer, when they feel threatened or when they feel that your peace is being threatened, will step up and start bouncing, right? And start getting physical, start throwing people out. And so we are all kind of in that energy of being protective and scared. And so the more afraid each person is individually on the inside, externally, the angrier they can be, or the more easily their anger can be triggered. So just keep that in mind. A lot of people are just really scared for what the future might bring, regardless of your belief system or where you live in the world. It is a scary time. And that being said, which is why I want to help you guys focus on what is most important energetically so that you can tune yourself to a more peaceful place, so that you are able to navigate the challenges that we are being thrown at every single day in a much more peaceful way, in a much more productive way. Because if you're scared, you cannot make sound decisions from fear. You can only make truly sound decisions that are connected to your alignment, right? To your highest and greatest good, when you are making them from love, when you are making them from a place of peace. And that's very, very hard. And that's why we need to practice. Okay. So here it is. The hard thing, the challenge that you are going to have is to commit to this practice, to commit to coming together, to commit to you practicing tuning yourself, being connected to yourself and to spirit, right? Like grounded in the earth and connected to spirit so that you are a true channel of what needs to show up in the world right now. You have to connect with your nature so that you know exactly how to show up, right? Each animal in nature shows up in the way that they are meant to, right? A lion shows up like a lion, a bear shows up like a bear, a bird shows up like a bird. But if a bird starts acting like a lion, right, everything seems like odd. Nothing connects. That's not the ecosystem, right? The lion needs to be the fullest, most expressive lion it can be, right? The bird needs to do what the bird does. That's how we all kind of fit in, is we fit in by being 100% ourselves, because that level of being yourself is integrated into the nature of things, right? Just like back to that first analogy of the instruments, right? Of the harmony. If your instrument is tuned, if you are the best saxophone you can be, then when you play the instrument along with other instruments and you're tuned and you're all playing the same song, it sounds amazing. It is harmonized and it can move you and absolutely create all sorts of adjustments in your emotions, right? It's a way to emotionally regulate, is to be completely tuned. So that's just, you got to commit to that, okay? And the last thing is that surprise, right? A little unexpected support in your times of need. Look at this, okay? And the card is protecting treasure, okay? And so 39 is the card. The 39 may speak to you on some level, but this, protecting treasure, okay? Now look at this. So here is this character, this woman. She is sleeping on top of her treasure chest, holding an umbrella, protecting it, sleeping by it, and making sure that nothing happens to it. Now, this seems like, you know, she might be living in fear a little bit, like wants to hold on as desperately as she can, right? But this is in the area of where you find unexpected support. And so your unexpected support may be in looking after yourself, in creating the boundaries around you to protect your energy, to protect your life force, to protect your safety. It is your job, and the unexpected help that will come, because I was just saying that fear can work against you, right? But if you are acting in a protective way towards yourself, to protect yourself from the challenges or the dangers that come from the outside, that will be supportive. That is a way for you to support yourself, is to pay attention to your energy, your focus, your attention, your needs, right? And if you are taking care of those things and making sure that you are protective of your personal space, protective of your family, right? In a loving and compassionate way, right? If you are protective of your community, right? Of the people in your community, then all of us will be taking care of ourselves and others. And eventually that builds out, and we are all kind of looking out for each other in that way. Okay, so let's get a little clarification. What else does this, I want to get a little more clarification on this come together card. Shall we see what the Rider Waite deck has to say about this come together? I like to do that too sometimes. Is like I have the Oracle card. I usually do it the other way around. I pull an Oracle card and then I get the tarot to give me an explanation. But I'm going to do it the other way. We're going to test it out this time and just see what happens. So let's get a little explanation on the come together card. Okay. Which is also the number 8 card. And I got to tell you, the number 8 has been showing up for me like so much. Really, really so much. And I think there's a message in that. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So 3 cards jumped out. Of course, 3 cards jumped out to explain the come together card. So a little bit more information on that. The first card that came out is the Fool, right? And the Fool is all about starting the journey, but starting the journey without expectations, starting the journey as a young person, or it's sort of like, straight out of college, you're like, let's go and conquer the world, right? I mean, I don't know if all college students come out of college that way, but but that's the energy, right? The energy is like, I'm about to go out and just start my life and begin anew and start a new adventure, and I'm not really worried about what's coming, right? And that is a good thing, right? This is a good thing where you're coming together and you just need to take a chance. You're starting a new path, okay? And here is the other two cards that came out. It was Judgment and the Magician, okay? Now, Judgment, of course, this is about you being discerning, right? And your discernment. And I really think that in your coming together, right, be discerning about where you are putting your time and energy and what you are coming together with. When you are coming together with kindness and compassion, does this person, this energy, this organization, this mission that you're on, when you come together, how are you feeling about it? Is it something that feels aligned with you, right? That is the discernment, right? Where you are doing things that feel in alignment with your highest good, right? And if it is in alignment with your highest good, it is also in alignment with the highest and greatest good of all, because that's how it works, okay? And this other card, the Magician, is basically saying you can do what you want with this. It is in your hands to create the conditions for you to thrive, okay? This is coming together. You get to choose. The Magician gets to choose. Everything is available to the Magician, right? Every feeling, every tool, every strategy is available to the Magician. And so it is up to you to use your resources and to use your intentions to come together for the highest and greatest good of everyone, and what that might mean and what that might look like, and working towards that with your discernment, making sure that you are using your time and energy and focus and attention on things that are building up yourself and humanity, that are contributing light and love and kindness and compassion and all the things that you stand for in your heart. How are you bringing that into the world? How are you bringing that into relationships? How are you bringing that into any sort of situation or I was going to say activity, but yes, any situation or activity that you have to show up as yourself, authentically yourself, with love, with compassion, and using your judgment and discernment to make sure that the work that you are doing is building up society, that is building up your community, that is building up your life, that is creating a strong foundation and not tearing things down. Yes, releasing the things we don't need, but what we want is to build a strong foundation together. All right, so let's see. We're going to go with the Rider-Waite for the second, for the commitment card, okay? So let's get a little clarification on the commitment from the Rider-Waite, who I always feel the Rider-Waite is always a little more, well, not just the Rider-Waite deck. This is the Rider-Waite deck. Rider-Waite Smith. The cards were designed by Pamela Coleman Smith, who was a Black woman who did not get, surprise, surprise, did not get the credit for doing the art for these tarot cards, which, you know, have been used for so many, many years. The Rider-Waite Smith deck was the sort of the original that got popular, and when people enter into the tarot world and when you see tarot cards, it is Pamela Coleman Smith's art that you see and that you connect with the tarot. All right, so here we go. What do we need to know, or what is a good clarification for commitment? Okay, so let's see here. Ugh, so many cards. Okay. All right, let's see here what they're trying to say. Okay. Bum-ba-dum. Okay. So for the commitment, the King of Swords, okay? King of Swords is another card about discernment, right? The King of Swords doesn't mess around with things that waste time. The King of Swords is focused on what's most important and releasing the things that do not serve you. King of Swords cuts things out, right? He is, and it works together with Judgment, right? Because the King of Swords is often connected to being able to judge and cut out the things that are not working, right? Without emotion. He's very structured, right? And this is what the King of Swords. So this is what we need for the commitment. You need to, like, don't get too emotionally attached right, to the things that are not working for you. Make sure that you are being discerning. And when you're making a commitment, you make a commitment for the purpose of moving things along without the attachment of what the outcome might be. Like, of course, we are all making a commitment because we want things to improve. But the commitment has to be to showing up in the day, in the moment, doing what we can with our light in that moment without expecting it to unfold in a certain way, because that's out of our hands. All we can do is show up presently the best way we know how and hope that things evolve better in the future. Right now, what other cards came up? King of Wands, right? King of Wands is about being passionate about something, moving forward passionately, right? So you have the King of Swords and the King of Wands who work together, right? Like, you have an idea, you want to move forward with it, but you got to make sure to cut out the things that are going to prevent you from succeeding with that idea. Once again, the commitment, right? You have to do it. Like, and look, commitment is usually connected to love, and this is love of humanity. This is what we're working towards together, all right? So the other cards that we have, look at this. Okay. Knight of Cups, right? The Knight of Cups shows up for love, right? And so once again, we are talking about commitment and clarifying commitment. And what do we need to do to really be committed to our practice, be committed to our mission, right? And our mission is to move through these challenges with love, and to use our discernment from a place of love and compassion, right? The Knight of Cups. The cups are all about emotion. It's all about feelings. It's all about being connected to what's important to you, right? And so that Knight of Cups can passionately, right? The Knight of Wands or the King of Wands has that sort of passionate moving forward. And the Knight of Cups keeps you focused on the love part, right? Doing it for love, doing it for the love of your life, the love of your community, the love of your future, of our future, the love of humanity, right? We need to keep going. We need to commit to this practice. And here's the other things, okay? There's two other cards that came up, and one is the Moon, which is all about things that are underneath the surface. And I really believe that the Moon here, it's really talking about our, the commitment to uncovering the truth, the commitment to allowing the parts of us that are hidden, showing up vulnerably as ourselves and not being afraid, right? Not being afraid of the darkness, not being afraid of what lies beneath, and just moving forward with conviction and commitment, practicing what is most important to you here at this time, and being committed to practicing what is most important to you, being committed to showing up in your most authentic self. All right. And this card, this two of Pentacles, where he's doing the balancing act, right? This is one of those things that we constantly have to be moving and balancing ourselves and others, right? And this is what the whole me first approach is. First, you take care of yourself so that you then can take care of others. And it is a balancing act. That commitment to yourself and others is a balancing act. It's a balancing act where you have to put the boundaries in place to protect yourself and protect your energy and protect the work that you are doing, protect your passions, right? And because not everybody is meant to be in our space. Not everything is, we're not meant to handle everything, just like in nature, right? There are things in place in nature where certain animals take care of certain things, certain organisms, eat up certain bacteria, and other things in nature take care of other things. So it's important for us to know where we fit in with nature, where our strengths are, and how we can focus that light that exists within all of us into the universe, into the world, into our community, into our families, how we can shine that light for ourselves and show up so that we can be fully committed to moving humanity forward with those individual actions, with those actions that affect the people that we love, and then the community at large. So that is, this constant balancing act of taking care of yourself and taking care of others, looking out for yourself and including others in that journey, right? It's me first, and then others. And it's very important that we keep that balance, because that's how we work together, right? That's, coming together for the benefit of all. And we have to each make that commitment. All right. Um, Jim. Hi, Jim. I decided to doom scroll to avoid what I needed to work on. The first thing I see is your live stream and the King of Swords. Oh my goodness, that is unbelievable timing. I love that. Oh, yes, the King of Swords, getting down to business. Oh, the other card that showed up was this, nostalgia. Okay, this is the Six of Cups, and the Six of Cups is connected to that inner child. It's connected to nostalgia. It's connected to the things that were important to us as a child. And it's important that we bring that to the surface right now as well. And we highlight and activate the things that were important to us as children, that were important to us and that still means something to us, but maybe we've been avoiding it. Maybe we've been ignoring it. That is part of the commitment. We need to commit to healing that inner child. And how you heal that inner child is through your daily practices, through your daily interactions, is by exemplifying yourself, right? Is to show up as yourself authentically, freely, allowing yourself to just be who you are, and then navigating everything that you encounter, protecting that inner child, right? While also evolving, right? Evolving, bringing that inner child into the present moment and helping them and using them to help you evolve and bring in those things that you used to love, bring in those things that used to excite you, and use that in your favor. Use that to motivate you and inspire you to continue committing to what's most important. All right. Okay, now the last one, and then we're going to wrap it up because I think we've discussed a lot, is the last one of protecting treasure. Okay, so this is unexpected help coming from protecting treasure. So let's get a little more insight on that and figure out what exactly this card is trying to tell us, right? Like, so exactly what do you mean by protecting treasure? So Spirit, show us a little, give us a little clarity on what do you mean by protecting treasure? How is that going to support us in our times of need? All right, so let's just see. All right. Okay. Oh my goodness. Jumping cards. Jumping cards. Jumping. I mean, I guess that's the point, right? Okay. Okay, here we go. Lots of cards jumping out. Protecting treasure. Now look at the cards that came up. All right. So, oh my goodness. Okay. I'm going to show you them. All right. So we have the Hermit, the Ten of Cups. The first one that popped out is the Eight of Swords. Okay. The Ace of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, and the Page of Swords. Okay. So what that's telling me is, I'm just put these out for a second. We're talking about the miracles that can happen with protecting treasure, okay? The first card, like I said, that came out was the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords, it feels like we're trapped, but we're not. You see, she's blindfolded and she's all wrapped up, but the swords, like, she can just take off her blindfold. She can walk away, but it feels restrictive. It feels, and swords are thoughts. Swords are mental anguish. It is the challenges that we struggle with in our minds. And so it makes sense, right? When you're talking about protecting treasure, this is what's really happening. We are scared that we are trapped and that we don't have a way out. But other things that show up here that show me, like, this is what we need, right? So the next card was the Hermit. And the Hermit tells us we have to go within. Once again, all connected, right? First you go within. The Hermit, you see how the Hermit has that light, right? So their inner light shines. And this is the Hermit really taking some time to think about that inner light, to think about how they want to release it out into the world. But first they have to kind of decide what to do with it themselves. They need time on their own. And this is something that you might need in protecting your treasure. You have to think about to yourself, what is the best way that I can go about this? What are my needs? What is my capacity? What do I need to function and thrive? Right? And how can I take care of myself so that I get what I need to function and thrive? And here are some other cards that showed up that I ask you to take a look at, to pay attention to. Here is the Seven of Cups, and the Seven of Cups is about distractions, right? It's like so many choices, so many things to distract us. Look at all those shiny things in those cups. Ooh, there's this, and there's this, and there's this, and there's this. Okay. And there are a lot of options. And this is distractions that might be helping us to avoid looking at really what's important and protecting that treasure. So I want you to be aware. So you got to go within and figure out, which one of these things should I really be focusing on? What of this is a distraction, and what of this is important for me to bring on my next phase of the journey? And here we go. The Page of Swords is another card that shows up, and the Page of Swords has that youthful energy, and it's like this idea, let's go fighting into, the world. Let's step out into the world and, take that idea and run with it, right? So all of this is connected, and I want you to see the two cards that came up. What is this all about? It's all about the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is all about sort of ultimate happiness. It's like the whole enchilada, right? And the Ten of Pentacles it's about family legacy. It's about the Ten of Pentacles is having everything in this life that you want. And so really what we are protecting in the protecting treasure is we are protecting those things that are most important to us. And how we are going to do that is by going within and taking the time, as the Hermit does, for some introspection, for deciding what it is that you need and setting up the boundaries accordingly to protect yourself, right? So that you don't feel stuck, so that you don't feel trapped, right? And you may feel trapped because you just got too many choices. Look at this Seven of Cups. There's too many things to focus on. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is go with the Ace of Wands, right? And the Ace of Wands is one thing. Focus on one thing, on one passionate thing that you can really get behind, right? And that is going to help. Protecting your treasure. Start with the thing that is most important to you. Take some time for yourself and decide what is the thing that you want to focus most on, what is most important to you, and how can you show up in ways to be out there and be out there, in ways to just be out there. Oh my God, my brain sometimes. You need to show up as fully yourself without concern or worry about the future, while also protecting the things that are most important to you. And that is where that sort of, the Two of Pentacles comes in, because you are constantly balancing, how much to show up, how to show up, and when not to show up to protect yourself, when to speak, when not to speak, what to say, how to say it, and how not to say it. That is all part of the practice that you need to do to be able to show up as your authentic self. And don't be afraid to do it. Don't be afraid to just shine your light as brightly as you can. And if it upsets some people, that's okay. You'll figure it out. And more likely than not, it will encourage and motivate and inspire other people like you who have been looking for some type of guidance in how to move forward in this world that we live in right now. Okay. So there you go. That's, I think, basically what we're doing, what we're focusing on. Don't forget, we need to come together, right? In the next week, just work on trying to understand people, listen to people, come together for the greater good, whatever that looks like for you. And don't forget to set up your boundaries accordingly so that you are not exhausting yourself in things that do not deserve your time and energy, whether that is in relationships, whether that is with work, whether that is on some other part of your life. You need to focus on what is most important for you and move forward with love and compassion and kindness because together is the only way we're going to get out of this alive. And that's just what I have to say about that. So I have nothing else to add for today. Feel free to reach out if you have questions. Oh, hi, Mom. My mom is now watching. Say hello to my mom, Maria, everyone. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to pull one more card. I'm going to pull a Moonology card because I love the Moonology deck. That's this one. And I'm just going to see what is the moon's advice for this week. It all resonates, but it's complicated. Yes, of course it's complicated. It's very complicated, right? This is truly a practice that we all need to work on. We all need to work on being together. We all need to work on being a little bit more compassionate, a little kinder. We all need to work on regulating our emotions, especially when tension is high, when people are scared and feeling unsure of their life and their future. Okay, this is the card that just popped out, and I'm going to go with it. And look, Mom, this one's for you because it's a Virgo. It's a full moon in Virgo. And here it is. You are good enough, right? You are good enough. Look at that beautiful card, okay? And I really think that that's a beautiful message to end on today, that no matter what is happening in the world, no matter how you feel, I know we're all feeling probably very scared, probably a little disconnected or a lot disconnected, probably a little lost and afraid, and maybe feeling inadequate, unprepared, or helpless as we navigate these things. And so here we go. The universe wants to tell you that you are good enough. You have everything that it takes in order for you to navigate these challenges. And as difficult as it is, we are here on purpose during this time to help humanity work through these growing pains, okay? These are growing pains, but do not make the mistake that we are growing. And like puberty or perimenopause, eventually the rough stuff shifts and things become a little more clear and they become a little easier, and we get into a groove of figuring things out as we transition into the next phase of humanity, right? So we're just having a hard time right now, but be kind and compassionate and know that you have what it takes to get through this and everything is going to be okay. And I'm actually going to read you what it says, okay? Full moon in Virgo. You are good enough. It's time to be really honest with yourself and understand what's led you to ask your question. Have you been humble to the point of being self-effacing? Humility is good, but it can go too far. Drawing this card suggests that you may be underrating yourself. You don't have to be flash, just quietly certain that you're good enough. At the other end of the scale, you need to honestly answer this question. Have you been too picky? The full moon in Virgo card needs some truthful answers. Once you've given them, it should be easier to see how you got where you are. Your next step should be more obvious to you. Pay attention to the details, as any Virgo will tell you, right, Mom? Hard work brings results, okay? So attune to the moon. Find a balance between the cosmic and the mundane in your daily life, which is a reference to that Two of Pentacles, right? Like, we have to take care of business, and we also have to hold hope for the miracles that life can bring, right? Got to take care of the boring shit. Also leave space for the beautiful things, okay? Also have fun. Also connect to your most authentic self. Additional meanings for the card. Worrying too much will attract more things to worry about. That one's for you too, Mom. Have you been overly critical? An apology may be in order. I don't know who that's for. Another message, stop second guessing yourself. Another message, raise your karma by doing something good for someone else, right? So that's a good way for us to move forward in this world this week, is if you're feeling bad about yourself or about how things are going, step out and do something for someone else. And in fact, I'm going to give it one additional little note, is that whatever it is that you're feeling that you are lacking in your life, if you're feeling afraid and you want to feel secure, if you're feeling invalidated and you want someone to validate you, then that is how you should show up in the world for someone else. So if you need validation, just Give someone else validation. If you are looking for love and compassion, decide how you can give love and compassion to someone else so that you may be putting out there into the universe the very thing you're looking for, and that will create a loop which will bring it back to you. And it may not come back to you through the same channel, right? So like you may give love and compassion to someone that you're hoping they'll return that love and compassion, or they may reciprocate. They may not reciprocate, but you will find love and compassion coming from somewhere else. And that is how the universe rewards you for what you put out there. It may not come in the same way, but be open because it can come to you in any number of ways. All right, the last thing I'll read. The full moon in Virgo is a time to declutter your life, your home, and your office. It's the time to sort what's good in your life from what's not serving you. It's also the time to clear out your energies via salt baths and meditations, and to practice getting more grounded. By walking barefoot. No matter when you draw this card, it's a reminder that any time is a good time to start living a healthier life. Well, I say that that is an excellent way to end today's card reading. I will definitely be back next week, and maybe sooner, I don't know, depending how things go, I will show up accordingly. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you're looking for a personal reading or a personal strategy session, go to my calendly.com/jumpstartforchange or check out the description below. And you will reach me and we can do a one-on-one reading. And I will ask, or you can ask whatever question you want, and we will ask the universe to answer it for you. So thank you so much. I will see you guys soon. Have a blessed night, a wonderful weekend,